is never push yourself past your comfort level, never push yourself past your ability level. It's not worth it for an injury. You will get there in time, just work at your level. And remember that yoga isn't just about our physical asana. If your practice today is that you just want to spend the next 45 minutes lying on your back on your mat, then by all means be my guest. So because we're doing a more restorative class, it's not like a usual restorative class where we will just hold the poses for 10 minutes each. It's still got a pace to it. But if you would like to use props today, because we will be going a little slower, so bolsters, cushions, rolled up blankets, blocks, anything that you would like to use, then please feel free to grab any of those now. And then when you are ready, we are going to start lying down on our mats. As always, if you don't have a mat, that's absolutely fine. You don't need one, especially for today, because we're going super slow. If you just want to lie on a towel or on the rug, then by all means, be my guest, that's absolutely fine. So let's bring ourselves down onto our mats. Lying on your back, let your feet fall open, let your palms fall open. And exhale. So as we inhale, we're going to allow that breath to run all the way to the bottom of your lungs, filling them like a glass all the way to the top. And exhale, reverse the breath. And inhale. And exhale. So our pranayama is our breath. It's working with our breath. It's one of the 8 limbs of yoga. And it is as important as your asana, your physical movement. So when you inhale, you really want to expand the abdomen as much as possible. Allow that breath to fill you completely. Inhaling through the nose, and as you exhale, reverse the breath and pull the navel into the spine. So breath work, pranayama, our yogic breath, can help with really calming your mind, can help with anxiety and stress. And on Sunday, when we did our last restorative class, we set the theme of self-care. So we're going to set the same theme for today. I think that's a nice theme for a restorative style class. Thinking about self-care and how important that is, and thinking about how we really cannot care for others unless we care for ourselves first. So self-care is actually a selfless act, because you cannot care for others if you do not care for yourself first. So just allowing that breath to calm your body, calm your mind, and just bring you into the room. Start to filter out anything not serving you in this moment. And sinking down into your mats, pulling those shoulders away from the ears, neck long. And softening your facial features. Unlock the jaw and unclench the back teeth. Dropping the tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. Maybe part the lips to allow your breath to escape. And you're going to start to draw your feet together like palms. We're going to work a different way through our bodies today. So bringing yourself into your reclined bound angle pose, allowing your knees to drop open on either side of the mat. Take your palms and just place them on your hips. So you can either take your hands to the inside of your thighs, to your hips, or you can create a heart shape with your fingers and thumbs and place that on your pelvis. So whatever feels comfortable, maybe your hip bones, maybe the inside of your thighs, maybe your pelvis. And as you breathe, start to pull the knees down on either side of the mat. Try and glue your sacrum to the mat if you can, keeping those feet together. So Baddha Konasana, our reclined bound angle pose, is opening the hips very gently. And it's also increasing blood flow to our pelvic floor. It's a really nice restorative pose. It's used quite commonly in restorative classes. Really breathe into your hips. And exhale. And gently close the knees and draw them in towards your chest. Rocking from side to side in your Apanasana. Knees to chest pose. Just releasing your spine on the mat. Maybe you just want to draw little circles. We're going to start our class with our shoulder bridge today. So, because we might still be feeling a little bit tight, if you want to grab cushions or blankets or something to pop underneath your sacrum, then please do. So plant your feet. Feet and knees are about hip width apart. And when we do any sort of back bend, you want to make sure those feet stay parallel and aligned. Feet and knees hip width apart, parallel and aligned. And that's really important for keeping our spine level, for not creating any twists in the spine. So palms on either side of the mat and gluing at the bottom of your spine. So your sacrum is right at the base of your spine. You want to push that down into the earth to begin with. Take a deep breath. Allow the neck to grow long. And on your exhale, start to gently roll those hips up towards the sky, keeping those feet and knees parallel. And we might not go as deep as we usually go today because we're doing this right at the beginning of the class. Walk those shoulders together. And lift the hips high, interlacing those fingers, and breathe. And exhale. So remember, if you want to put something underneath your hips, so you're literally just tilting the hips up, then by all means do. So your shoulder bridge is good for practicing back bends, good for strengthening the glutes and hamstrings. It's good for your shoulders, obviously. Good for pelvic floor work, so Kegels, if you're pregnant, if you've had a baby. It's also good for anxiety, insomnia, and stress. Try and keep your neck long in this pose. Really breathe into that pelvic floor as well, keeping those hips high. Some people say if you hold this pose for 5 minutes a day, it can lead to, it can deal with digestive issues, and also it can reduce symptoms of depression. So it's a nice little powerhouse of a pose. Keep breathing here. Let's go for one more. Gently drop that hip back down, the hips back down onto the mat. And again, hug those knees in towards your chest, gently rocking from side to side or circling your body. Release the spine. And then taking hold of your big toes with your hands and draw the knees towards you in your happy baby pose. We're just going to rock there. And this is often a counter pose, but it's still a stretch. So you're still pulling those legs towards you. You still want to feel a stretch through the inside of your legs, through your hamstrings, in your hips. Still feel that bit of engagement. Really nice. Bring your feet back down onto the mat, planting them nice and securely. And you're just going to gently prop yourself up on your forearms and then bring yourself to seated, keeping those hands behind you. Take the right leg and you're going to place that right ankle onto your left knee. Take an inhale, and as you do, you're going to start to gently push that right knee away, pushing against the left knee. So we're just stretching through our IT band here. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Straightening that right leg out onto the mat. And take an inhale. Bring that left arm behind you. Inhale the right arm up towards the sky. As you exhale, you're going to bend the right arm and take the right elbow to the outside of your left knee, pushing that knee away. So we're twisting through the spine and shoulder girdle. So this kind of twist is good for sciatica. It's good for releasing tension in the back. Gazing over that left shoulder, deep breath, inhale. And I can't remember who it was a few weeks ago that asked for straight leg seated twists. Very specific, but here we go. And breathe. One more here. Gently release. Bring yourself back to center, hands behind. Bend the right knee and lift the left ankle to your right knee, pushing that left knee away and stretch through that IT band. So this is quite a gentle stretch through the IT band. If you are very flexible, you may not feel this stretch at all, but just try and push to the level where you do feel a slight stretch. Keep those shoulders down, the spine long. Really nice. And then straightening that left leg out. Drop the right arm behind, left arm up towards the sky, bending the arm. And take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Right arm behind you, pushing that right knee away with your left arm and gazing behind you, feeling that twist through the spine. Inhale. And exhale. I'm really sorry if you can hear my dog going mental downstairs. Breathe, inhale. And exhale. So releasing any tension, just compressing those organs. Releasing toxins. Gently bring yourself back to center. We're going to bring our legs together into a seated cross-legged position. Drop your palms to your knees, shoulders down, sit nice and tall. So let's work into the top half of our body. So we're going to start with our neck. So I want you to make sure that your body is nice and neutral. So shoulders down, spine nice and long, chest open. And we're not moving our body at all while we stretch the neck. So keeping those shoulders down, keeping the neck long, I want you to start to drop that chin down towards your chest. You're going to feel that stretch from the top of your spine all the way up to your skull, all the way down the back of your neck. Give yourself a nice double chin as you do this. And still keeping that spine long, trying not to lean. And then let's start to gently and slowly lift our chin towards the sky. And as you do, you're stretching all the way down the front of your throat. So you're just stretching out that double chin you just made. But remember to keep those shoulders down, the spine long. Point that chin towards the sky, really stretching the front of the throat. When I was younger, my mum told me that doing this would stop me getting a double chin. And then gently bring yourself back to center. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder and take that right arm up. Right hand onto your left ear, and you're just going to give yourself a really gentle pull. So we're feeling a nice stretch all the way down the left side of our neck. Reaching the left arm out and bring those fingers to the mat. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. And if you want to, you can lift those fingers. That's going to get even deeper into the stretch, all the way from your ear to your fingertip. And this is another really nice restorative pose. Good for reducing tension, reducing stress. Really breathing into that stretch. Being careful to look straight ahead. Try not to tilt your head too much in any other direction. You just want to stretch down this side of your neck. And just release. Drop that right hand to the mat. Left ear to your shoulder. Left arm up and over. Taking hold of your right ear and giving yourself a gentle pull. Feeling that stretch all the way down the right side of the neck. Right arm reaching out. Fingers to the mat. Deep breath. And exhale. If you want to lift those fingers, by all means do. Gently let go. Drop your left hand in line with your left hip. Reaching that right arm up and over. Reach those right fingers all the way across to the left side of the room. If you want to drop down onto your left forearm, by all means do. But keeping those hips level, so you're pushing into that right bum cheek. You want to make sure that those bum cheeks stay glued down onto the mat. Deep breath. We reach with those fingers. Keep the neck long and the shoulders down. Nice lateral stretch all the way down the right side. Feel as though someone's pulling on those right fingers to add inches onto that side of the body. Really enjoy that feeling of your body lengthening. And then let's walk those hands around to the other side. Right hand in line with right hip. Left arm up and over. Reaching those left fingers all the way across to the right side of the room. If you want to drop down onto that right forearm, by all means do. We're reaching those left fingers all the way across, and you want to keep those bum cheeks nice and level. So pushing into that left hip as you reach. Really feel it from hip to fingertip. And so someone's got hold of those left fingers and they're trying to pull you all the way across to the right side of the room. Deep breath, neck long, shoulders down. Let's go for one more here. Gently bring yourself back to center. Let's interlace our fingers in front of us. So creating a giant circle, so you're hugging one of those big yoga balls. Drop your chin down onto your chest and spread those shoulders apart at the back, creating a C shape with your spine. Inhale. And exhale. And as you inhale, this time pushing up towards the sky, so you're pushing the air away. Drop the shoulders, neck long. Breathe here. Inhale, reach the arms on either side of your shoulders. Imagine those fingers pulling from either side of the room. Try and keep them level with your shoulders. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Pull the arms behind you, pulling the shoulder blades together at the back like chicken wings and opening your heart center. Deep breath. And if you want, you can start to lift those hands behind you, keeping them interlaced. That's going to get you deeper into the shoulders. Really nice. And let's unlock our fingers and drop our hands in front of us. Bringing yourself into an all fours position on your mat. Spreading the fingers nice and wide and just cupping the hands. So we talked about this yesterday. When you are in an all fours position or a plank position or anything where you're putting extra pressure on your wrists, so down dog as well, try not to have your palms completely flat. Try and dig the fingers in and sort of cup the hands so the palms are gently lifted. That's going to stop you ramming into your wrists. It's also better for people that do have wrist issues. However, if you do have really bad wrists, you can take this from a seated position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, pushing down through your knees, the tops of your feet and your hands. Let's try and create energy between those points in the mat, almost like we're lifting from the mat, engaging the core and just keeping the spine flat to begin with. And breathe here, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, start to drop the navel to the floor, gaze up towards the sky, hollowing out the lower back. Exhale, arch like a scared cat, pulling the crown of the head towards the floor, navel inwards. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. So if you are happy here, mobilizing your spine in your cat-cow, by all means, please feel free to continue. If you would like to freestyle this movement, you guys should know the drill by now. Get your wiggle on. Really get as weird and wonderful as you would like. So really start to move that body in time with your breath. Push into all the corners of your body, all those little nooks and crannies that you feel need to be woken up. And so maybe you just want to wiggle around, you just want to circle that body. Remember to keep those hands cupped. Maybe you want to get into specific areas, so your wrists, the backs of your arms, good if you're practicing arm balances a lot. Maybe you want to come all the way forward, release your lower back in a cobra, or come into your balasana, your child's pose. Stretching the shoulders by bringing those arms out. Maybe you even want to come up to kneeling and just get into the neck and the shoulders, give yourself that wiggle around. Whatever you want to do, that's absolutely fine. Remember, we're practicing from home. That really gives us the chance to do exactly what we want. And this is a really nice thing to do if you ever have a day where you just don't have the time or the energy to do a full class, full practice. Do this for a couple of minutes when you wake up, or before you go to sleep, or after a shower. Get those fluids flowing, just working your breath into your body. Sometimes it's exactly what our body needs, just that little bit of movement and breath to just bring energy into our day. And it's nice to just kind of freestyle that wiggle. So getting into your hips, really get nice and weird and wiggly. Push into those corners, fingers, toes, all of those limbs. And as you are wiggling, let's start to push ourselves towards the back of our mat. So just wiggle yourself towards the back of your mat. When you feel those feet just come off the back of your mat, you're going to start to drop down onto your arms. Send that bum up towards the sky and drop the chest. Extended puppy pose. Feet and knees stay parallel out behind you. Pull that navel in, chest down, gaze in between your palms as you reach them out in front. So we're stretching our chest, our abdomen, our upper back, our shoulders, and our hamstrings. You can lift your fingers, that gets deeper into your shoulders as well. Always looking straight ahead. Breathe here, inhale. And exhale. Start to pull yourself slowly along the mat, sliding like a snail. Bring yourself onto the mat into your Sphinx pose. So pushing those hips down onto your forearms. So 3 options here. Sphinx is on your forearms. You can take a baby cobra. So that will be moving those hands back slightly and just very gently lifting the elbows. Making sure those elbows are tucked into your side. Try and make sure they're not outwards like chicken wings. You want to keep them tucked in. And then full cobra, you're going to lift even higher, get into that lower back. So all 3 of these are really good for your lower back pain. If you do have that, it's going to release that lower back. Whichever version you're doing, we want to turn it into a full body stretch. So point those toes, lift the knees, engage your legs. Feel that engagement in your glutes, your hamstrings, your bums, and your lower back. Push the chest open, the shoulders down, and keep that neck nice and long. And breathe here, inhale. And exhale. And inhale, keep that engagement. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale, gently peel yourself down onto the mat. We're going to work into our shoulders. Take your right hand out to the side of your mat. So your right forearm is in line with your mat. You're going to then roll onto your right hip and drop your right ear to the mat. Left arm, bend that left arm and push the fingers into the mat in front of you, using those fingers as a kind of lever to push you deeper into the shoulder. So if you want, you can also use that left leg. So if you pull the left leg back, you're going to feel yourself roll deeper onto that right shoulder. You can also bend the left knee and plant the left foot. It's going to get you even deeper. So this is a very intense shoulder stretch. If at any point you feel like it's too much, bring yourself to center to your Sphinx pose, and we will meet you back there. So if you do feel like you need a really deep shoulder release, this is a good one for you. Very gently and slowly bring yourself back to center. Take your Sphinx pose, plant the forearms, engage the legs, point the toes, and lift the head, dropping the shoulders, keeping that heart center open, neck long, deep breath, inhale. Bring that left arm out to the side of your mat and roll onto your left hip. Dropping your left ear to the mat, just lift those right fingers and bend the right arm, bringing that arm into you so it's kind of a lever, it can control you. If you push against the fingers, you're going to roll deeper onto that left side. Remember, you can use that legs, that top leg, can also be used like a lever. Pull the right leg back, that's going to push you deeper onto the left shoulder. You can also bend that right knee and plant the foot, that's going to get you even deeper. Remember to pay attention to your body. If it feels uncomfortable or painful in any way, bring yourself back to center to your Sphinx pose. Gently bring yourself back to center, to your Sphinx pose. Push down with the palms. Opening your heart center, point the toes, engage the legs, and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Push with the palms. Lift yourself onto your knees and take a child's pose. Heels together, knees apart. Reaching those arms out in front. Forehead to the mat. Bum on your heels. And gently start to walk yourself up into an upright position. Untuck your legs. Bring yourself to the center of your mat. Peel yourself down onto the mat so that you're laying flat. Plant your spine, so pushing the base of your spine, your sacrum, into the mat. Straighten your left leg and pull that right knee in towards your chest. Hug that knee in tightly. You're going to feel a gentle stretch through the quads, so that's the front of your thigh, and your hamstrings, the back. Just very gently, we're going to start to rotate the ankle to loosen the joints. Maybe give those toes a little wiggle. Just get the synovial fluids flowing with a little bit of joint movement. Keeping the spine flat, keeping the shoulders down. Left hand to your left hip and drop that right knee open. Take your right hand to the inside of your leg and link those fingers around your big toe. Start to straighten that right leg out. Deep breath, inhale. So if you don't want to straighten the leg, you absolutely don't have to. If you are straightening the leg, let's pay attention to our left hip. So using that left hand, push on the left hip bone to try and make sure the spine stays flat, the hip stays level, the pelvis stays neutral. Deep breath here, inhale. Feel that lengthening through your hip, through your hamstring, as the spine stays glued down onto the mat. And the lovely thing about holding stretches for longer than we might usually is really feeling that lengthening of the muscle, really paying attention to how deep we are getting. And then bend that right knee, pass that right leg all the way across to the left, reaching that right arm out, feeling that twist through the spine. Gaze down those right fingertips. And if you want to, you can straighten that right leg, taking hold of your big toe. So that's going to get into your IT band and your outer hip. So if you do feel like you have a tight IT band, your IT band starts at the top of your shin and goes all the way up to your hip on the outside of your leg. And it's an area that tends to get tight in runners. So it gets tight because of excessive bending of the knee. So lots of running, cycling, walking a lot, and it tends to get tighter in men as well. That's not to say it doesn't get tight in women, but it tends to be more common in men. So this is a really good stretch for that. So not only are we stretching our IT band here, we're also giving ourselves a twist through the spine, from the base of the spine all the way up. So we always want to look in the opposite direction of our legs when we're twisting. And gently bringing yourself back to center. You're going to straighten that right leg all the way up towards the sky. And either point, flex, or float your foot, taking your hands to the back of your thigh, or the back of your calf, or you can reach for your big toe. And remember, don't measure your progress day by day or week by week. So if you're having a tight day or it's a restorative day, so when I do restorative or like nice slow flows, I prefer to just not push my body that much. So always putting my hands on the back of my thigh. Try and avoid putting your hands on the back of your knee joint, because this is a good one for nice healthy knees, but we don't want to be pulling on the back of the knee. Deep breath, inhale, and as you exhale, pulling that leg towards you. Always make sure that you're doing something with the foot as well. So make sure it's not just hanging there. You want to keep that leg nice and engaged. So either pointing, so plantar flexing the foot, the toes up towards the sky, that's going to engage the leg, or flexing, so pulling the toes towards the shins, that's going to feel that pull on the back of your leg, or a combination of the two if both feel uncomfortable for you. And breathe here, pulling that leg towards you. So this is a really good one to do for runners. It's also good for splits practice, really nice deep hamstring stretch. Bend the right knee, flex the foot, and draw that right ankle to your left knee, pulling that left leg towards you. Place your palms on the back of your left thigh. Start to draw that left leg towards you, pushing the right knee away. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. So this is your reclined pigeon pose, and you are opening your right hip and stretching your right glute. Pay attention to your leg placement here. This is the same leg placement that you're going to want when we do our upright pigeon at some point during this week in other classes. And this is a really nice way to get you ready for your upright pigeon, because it's not as stressful as pushing your hips into the floor. You can control how open your hip is. You can control how much you want to pull the leg towards you. Give me one more breath. And then gently bring your legs to center into a tabletop position. Make sure that spine stays flat. Cross the right leg over the top of the left. Taking hold of opposite feet with your hands, and gently start to pull the feet apart and towards you. Reclined cow face pose, increasing mobility in your hips. Really nice. So with every breath, you want to pull those feet towards you a little more. Let's go for one more deep breath. Make it indulgent, make it deep. Lovely, everybody. And release, bring yourself back to center. Let's straighten that right leg out. Drawing that left knee in towards you. Bringing your hands around your left shin and pulling that leg in. You're going to feel gentle stretch through the quads, through the hamstring on the left side. Start to rotate your ankle, wiggle those toes, loosening up the joints. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Let's start to drop that left knee open, bringing your right hand to your right hip bone, keeping the spine flat, keeping the pelvis neutral, the hips level. So you can stay with your knee bent, or you can take that left hand to the inside of your left leg and start to straighten that left leg out. That's going to get into your hip and hamstring, really nice and deep. Remember, if you feel like you're lifting, like your bum cheek lifting off the mat like this, then you want to draw yourself slightly out the stretch. So the aim here is more about a straight spine and level hips and a neutral pelvis than it is about really stretching your leg as far as you can. So if you have your leg really, really wide open, but your hip is lifted, then the stretch is almost counterproductive. Remember that the body wants to be neutral. That's why we want to keep ourselves nice and level, really work into our alignments so that we don't cause ourselves any injuries. Bend that left knee and pass the left knee all the way across to the right, reaching that left arm out and gaze down those left fingertips. So either staying in your spinal twist with a bent knee or getting into your IT band in your hip by straightening that left leg and taking hold of the big toe with your right hand. Straightening that leg out, always looking down at the opposite fingers. And breathe here, feeling that twist, feeling that stretch through the IT band, through the thigh, through the hip. And just enjoy that feeling of your body lengthening, your muscles moving. Gently bringing yourself back to center. Straightening that left leg up towards the sky and either point, flex or float the foot. Hands either to the back of the thigh or the calf or reaching for your big toe, avoiding your knee joint. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale to inch that leg towards us, feeling that stretch through the hamstring. And breathe, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go for one more breath here. Bending that left knee, flex the left foot and draw that right knee towards you, planting your left ankle on your right knee. Reclined pigeon pose, hand on the back of your right thigh. Start to pull that right leg towards you and push the left knee away, opening up that hip. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Let's go for one more deep breath, really pushing that left knee away as you draw the right knee in. Paying attention to your leg placement to translate into your upright pigeon at some point during next week. Then bring yourself back to center, legs into a tabletop position. Cross the left knee over the top of the right and take hold of opposite feet with your hands, starting to pull the feet apart and towards you. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Really, really nice. Breathe here. Inhale. So we're increasing mobility in the left hip. So this is a good one for runners and cyclists as well. Give yourself one more deep breath, pulling those feet towards you as deep as you can. And then bring yourself back to center. Hug both knees in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side to release the spine on the mat in your asanas. And then slowly start to stretch your body out, bringing yourself flat on the mat. If you want to, you can take a little fish pose. It's completely up to you though. So pointing the toes, bringing your legs together and just dropping the hands underneath the small of the back and lifting onto your forearms, letting the head roll all the way back. Just getting into your shoulders and your spine, deep breath. If you don't want to, that's fine. You can come into your early Shavasana. One more deep breath. And gently release yourself back down onto the mat, feet and palms falling open, and breathe. So if you need to grab anything for your Shavasana, please feel free to do that now. If you feel like you don't need anything, you're already chill, you can stay lying down. If you want to grab a drink of water, maybe you want to dim the light, pop some music on, maybe you want to grab blankets, cushions, socks, a jumper, whatever you want to do that now and then bring yourself back down onto your mat. As always, you don't have to stay for Shavasana. That's absolutely fine. I know it's not in everyone's practice. I know some people don't like doing it, but please bear in mind that Shavasana, I think it has, I'm going to lose my words now, has a reputation of being known as meditation, and it doesn't have to be meditation at all. In fact, I don't use mine for meditation. It is more about relaxation, about just having a little bit of you time, about finding that space to just let go and breathe and just not be bothered by your phone or by anyone else and not have to move. And even if it's only a few minutes, it's just quite nice to have that still time for your body and for your mind. So if you don't want to stay, that's absolutely fine. I won't be offended if you log off, but if you do want to stay, bring yourself down onto your mats, lying on your backs, close your eyes. Drop those arms down on either side, palms falling open, feet falling open. And let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose, expanding your abdomen. And exhale. So bringing yourself back to where you were at the beginning of the class. Tuning out all your thoughts and worries. Tuning into your breath, tuning into your body. And just refreshing our theme of self-care. Just thinking of little ways that we can give ourselves pockets of self-care throughout our day. And giving yourself a little internal thank you for coming onto your mat tonight. So maybe it was self-care in a mental capacity. Maybe it was self-care in a physical capacity. Maybe it was the movement, the stretching. Maybe it was space just for you, a bit of you time. As we breathe, let's take our attention towards our feet. Feel them fall open on the mat, one by one. Ankles, calves, knees and thighs, lightweight. all the way up to the base of the spine, and feel each vertebrae trickling down into the mat one by one. So someone is pushing down the keys on a piano. All the way up to your shoulders, and feeling those shoulders pull down away from your ears. Arms light at your side, your palms open and fingers unwrapped. And as your neck grows long and your head becomes light, facial features soft and gentle. Unlock your jaw, unclench your back teeth. Pull the tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. And just part your lips to allow your breath to escape. And finally, take your attention to your chest and your abdomen and that slow and steady rise and fall, allowing you to sink deeper into the mat, pulling you into the earth. Take this time to just focus in on your breath. So you inhale and exhale. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes to draw awareness back into your body. Hugging your knees in towards your chest and gently rocking from side to side to release your spine on the mat. And bringing yourself up to seated. Palms on your knees, drop those shoulders, neck long. Let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And again. This time let out a deep sigh, like you're really letting everything go. And again, let's go for one more of those. Inhale. Palms together at your heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this evening. I hope you have a lovely rest of your Wednesday and hopefully see you all tomorrow night. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much. I hope that you're feeling chilled out. I hope that you're feeling a little bit relaxed. So I haven't decided what we're doing tomorrow. Yeah, and I know that you guys have given me a couple of ideas. I just need to get my act together. So hopefully see you guys all tomorrow and have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of your evening. And I will see all you lovely lot tomorrow, hopefully.